All right. Welcome to the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Olajolu. And I bid you a warm welcome to the bar this afternoon. It has been a very interesting day. For people that joined the bar yesterday, it was pretty interesting. There was a lot of conversation back and forth. And of course, today is not going to be any different, as we're going to be talking a few things. Of course, politics is on the front burner. Governor Wike is in the news today. I'm guessing he's going to be in the news a lot as he's on his commissioning spree this week again, and he's definitely invited a lot of people, very, very controversial people. So we definitely will see what he has to say. There's conversation about the Naira redesign. There's one or two things that has come up from that. INEC is in the news. Also, the Independent National Electoral Commission is in the news. Definitely we'll talk about that. Yesterday, the Grammy nominations dropped, and Nigeria is there again. Nigeria is definitely well represented again. Also, Wizkid is in the news, for all the good reasons. Wizkid FC and the way they do their things, the things that a lot of people are going to come up to say. So definitely, and there's a lot of sports. It's time to, I think, start a kind of World Cup countdown.
Yeah. What is a World Cup?
I don't know. If you don't know what a World Cup is, I don't know.
You might want to educate me and all the listeners.
I'm sure everybody knows what World Cup is. Everybody knows what the World Cup is.
I'm not everybody.
Exactly.
That's the point. I'm actually not
That's
that.
the
I'm
point.
not that bright.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
So please
I didn't say
me.
you were not bright. I said
Please just tell me what a World Cup is.
I don't know what a World Cup is. We will get to do some World Cup updates. People that are going, people that are sadly not going. Looks like there's a lot of injury conversation back and forth with them. And also, Nigeria has a friendly to actually play. So yes, we will definitely see how what is happening, what is going to happen, or what will not happen, or what we'll definitely get to talk about that. So yeah, this stuff that we're going to be talking about today at the bar. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourself as we dive right into the news. Sorry, why do I keep saying that? Why did I say
it?
That?
It is the news, actually.
It is the news, actually. It
is the news. It's what's going on. It's our own style of doing it in a kickback, laid back, chilled way, but at times it gets feisty. At times.
Okay, so it is officially 100 days to the 2023 elections in Nigeria, general elections in Nigeria, the presidential elections, most of governorship elections, the Senate, 100 days to the presidential elections, the presidential, the Senate, the House of Representatives, if I'm correct, yes.
Yeah.
So the Independent National Electoral Commission in Nigeria, this chairman has actually said that they're going to commence weekly media briefings to inform Nigerians on the progress made in the preparations for the 2023 elections.
100 days. It seemed like it was not going to come at all.
Yeah.
They've even been predictions. Some people have gone out to say, there will be no elections and blase. But it's 100 days, baby. We're counting down to another important day in the history of Nigeria as a nation. It's been a lot of preparation for everybody, from the umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, to the government, and to the opposition parties, to the new and old parties and new and old contestants. It's just been a whole lot of stuff. But everything is down to 100 days.
It's definitely days. Down to 100 days. And I'm not sure. I don't know. Say, at the moment, there's probably nothing bigger than that. There's a lot of things going on. People are talking. People are hoping that their candidate wins. There's a lot of back and forth. But really, one thing I wanted to first put out there is that we should get to a point. We should realize that we're a democracy and everybody actually has what's the word now? They have a right to choose. I think if we understand that in the first place,
basically respect everybody's choice.
Yeah, I think if we understand that in the first place, then it would literally help.
Maybe douse the tension
reduce
all
the back and forth, all the drama. Because honestly, there's a lot of drama. And the funny thing is that you almost tend to envy the people not on social media. Which, the honest truth, there's a lot more people not on social media than on social media. You actually
that's a fact, actually.
You actually envy them that y'all don't see all this. It's what it is, what you get. Do you understand? And the honest truth is that people also need to understand that yes, there are a few people that are going to swing left and right, but I feel that at this point in Nigeria, there's a large chunk of people that they already know who they're voting for.
That's always been the thing. Like over and over again, I've had this discussion offline and online with people, and I really like to make everybody understand that yes, they are swing voters. There will be swing voters like they have in America, where they'll say swing states or swing this. In Nigeria, we don't really have that kind of block swings, but there will be swing voters who will be spread across the entire nation. There will be the undecided people, which of course fall into the swing angle, where maybe they are going to go from this side to this side or whatever. But you see, the core of the people who are actually into politics, who actively participate in the electoral process, they've already made up their mind like years ago, months ago, or weeks ago. They're just waiting for certain things to be in place. You understand? And we will not stop hearing about people cross-carpeting.
Yeah.
You will not stop hearing about all of that, because they're all working towards some kind of goal at the end of the day. But I have never seen a situation where people feel the need to talk down people's choices, or more or less aggressively, tell people what you should do and not do. And I think at times it can be counterproductive. That's my opinion. That if you want to convince someone to vote for your candidate or work for your candidate and everything, it might go down better if, for instance, you're able to sit down, and speak to the person, and communicate. But if you say because of this and that, and this, a lot of people are guilty of. I know that people will be zeroing in on. I'm not trying to zero in on any party, or any group of people, or any tribe or religion or creed. I'm just saying that most times communication is better when it is, a two-way thing, and when you actually are able to pass the information you want to pass. Because if you're trying to force the information, most times it doesn't work. Most times it doesn't work, because again, no matter what you say or do, there was a point in time where we were hearing people saying things like, you won't treat people if they don't support this person. There was a time the rhetoric was, you want to come to church and you don't have your PVC and you don't say you're voting for somebody, then you will not get a communion, which is completely ungodlike and completely unchristian-like. You understand? They've toned down that thing a bit, because everybody knows it's not sustainable. That's the truth. Like, you're not gonna. How is it gonna work? Are you gonna come into the booth with the person? We've heard of stories of how, take for instance the last party primaries. There was a candidate that was said to have flown a certain number of, I think maybe 20 or so people, also to the I think it's the PDP convention. and the number of people that traveled with him was not commensurate with the number of votes that he got.
See, this is why I feel that there's wickedness in our souls. This, no, please go on. You're going to continue. I just want to pick up what you said. How does someone carry you to a certain place?
Mm-hmm.
The least you could do, even if he doesn't have votes anywhere else, was at least let him get the number of votes that he paid for. I think that it is ridiculous.
But you know, there were stories of how one candidate went to meet people that he had, giving money earlier before the primary. I think that was the state
I think
primary.
It was another state, yeah.
Yeah.
Give me back my money.
So that's what we're saying, that even with coercion, even with inducement,
people are
you're still not guaranteed
what they're going to do. Okay, so as I was just looking through, there's this thread that I think I want to read. It's by Jafar S. Jafar, and where he had tweeted and he said, "The untold story of election financing in Nigeria." I think this is another angle of a story that a lot of people don't understand, and I think I kind of believe this a little bit. And he said there will be 176,846 polling units. That means boxes in the 2023 election. From my experience, in each polling unit, a serious party must have at least 2 agents, 2 vote canvassers, and 1 cashier. No matter your popularity, you have to have this critical information at each polling unit or get rigged out. The quintet will get at least 20,000 naira each as allowance, making 100,000. Depending on the interest in the unit, 50,000 to 1 million is set aside for election day vote canvassing. Now let's calculate the cost of an average 200,000 per polling unit times 176,846 polling units nationwide. That's approximately 35.3 billion naira. And this is just a conservative estimate. After this, you have to set aside at least 20,000 for 2 corps members per polling unit, 20,000 for 2 policemen, and at least 200,000 for DPO, 500,000 for an area commander, 5 million and above for commissioner of police, civil defense personnel, vigilante, thugs are also included in the budget. If we sum this up, we'll have at least another 30 billion naira or more. Before this, there's also campaign financing. The cost of mobilization per state visit is over 100 million naira. Cost of aircraft charter, printing of posters, banners, t-shirts, billboards is also huge. Cost of newspaper adverts, radio jingles, and TV commercials are also huge. When a particular presidential candidate visited Kano recently, it was said that he spent over 200 million naira in 3 days.
Okay, so there's
a longer thread, but I
get it. But so basically, what he is talking about is how much it costs to run an election, like to fund an election.
Yeah.
But that aspects of that I do not understand. Maybe there's going to be some way to shed more light. Maybe you're going to explain and let us get it. I get the part where you have to pay your party agents.
Yeah.
Why do you still have canvassers on election day when campaign officially ends the day before?
Okay, for me, of course, we know. I don't think that is what's the word now? That is right, but I think he's trying to be.
He's talking from his experience.
Yes, he's talking from his experience. He's talking about the Nigerian way.
No, we're definitely talking the Nigerian way. I'm just wondering why there are canvassers on an election
day. Yes. It's very interesting when you see these things. The honest truth is that except you want to close your eyes to some of these things, it is what it is. And then we should also realize that there are a few things in that part that I wrote, that he wrote, that I wanted to talk about. And let's even remove the issue of the canvassers, and let's say all you need is at least 2 agents. The last I checked, those 2 agents do not vote. Your agents don't vote. Then what is the number of people that are going to vote for you per polling unit that you can forfeit 2 votes times 176,000?
If you're a serious presidential candidate, this should not even be a talking point.
That's what I'm saying.
It shouldn't even be an issue
That's what I'm saying.
That you have 2 party agents. I think you can still go with 1 anyway. You can do 1 per polling unit. But if you are someone who has campaigned, who has built structures, who has a network of voters and supporters, sparing to people to monitor election at every polling unit should not be a problem at all. It really shouldn't be. If you do not have this, then you're not ready to contest the election. And it is what it is.
And someone was now reading down and said that someone now replied and said, actually this stuff is where the party structure comes in, because you can use the same agents of your party's National Assembly candidates and all. And he replies and says, presidential candidates don't take chances. They cover other candidates on election day, but Senatorial House of Rep candidates will also have separate arrangements and all that. So what I'm now saying is that this is where I have a problem with a lot of Nigerian parties. And I think this is the mistake a lot of people make. Sadly, I think this is the reason why our big parties in quote, or the older parties in quote, will continually have the upper hand. Why I said so is because this so-called structure, we have I think 17 or 19 presidential candidates now. Can we not have 5, 10, 15 of them pool resources together? Because if we really look back, PDP is the only party that has been PDP from inception since at least from 1999. Let's put it like that. And even the PDP has a lot of people from the APC that has joined, from the NNPP, from Jonathan, that has joined it to be what it is today. If we go to the APC has God knows how many parties. It started from AD. AD was moved out. It moved out, became AC, became ACN, before it became APC. And we know that APC had NNPP in this. It had, I think,
no NNPP.
No, sorry, no, there was no any CPC. He had CPC. He had
the new PDP.
The new PDP. It had about 3, 4,
PDP,
5
a faction of APGA
parties that became the APC. So maybe there's really nothing wrong in coming together.
I think that discussion is too late now.
It is. I don't think it's too late.
I think,
because I feel that we've seen
a big shout out to Francis Odum is checking in and says hello, my
hi.
people. Said that a while ago.
We've seen people actually step down. We have examples. People step down days and weeks to elections.
Once again, I like to reiterate that I think that's a tad bit too late for all of that now. These are 18 or 19 people who have signified their intention. They've gone through the process of being recognized by the Electoral Commission. And as we speak, the ballot boxes are already being produced. If they are not ready, they're almost ready. So you're already on the ballot.
Yeah, but we've seen it happen now.
I'm not saying that you've not seen it happen. I'm just saying that it's a tad bit too late for that now, because you want to form a coalition 100 days to an election and you have not even started yet. When are you going to conclude it? At what point in time do you start to sensitize your own supporters not to vote for you but to vote for someone else? At what point in time do you get to the part where you're able to say, hey, these are the people that are going to be voted for, or this person is in this? Because you can't go to a new party anymore. And what kind of coalition are you forming with 10, 12 or 14 parties? And okay, so the presidential candidate of, say for instance, AAC is the person that you want to work with. If that is the case, in the states where there are no AAC gubernatorial candidates, what happens? Or even if they are, the party that is supporting them, what are they getting in return? How are they just going to collapse their structure just to support someone just because they want to rival the guys there? And if they're going to do it, there has to be a lot of political horse trading. There has to be a lot of give and take. And I'm saying that for it to be successful, 100 days is not enough. That's what I'm saying, especially with the fact that ballot papers have been. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that, but will it succeed? Will it achieve its aim? The aim is to the aim is to defeat the APC and the PDP.
Yeah.
These are the two parties that have the structure to cover every polling unit.
Yeah.
But the Labour Party says it has the same structure. They say they have it.
Okay.
Yes, they have. They've said it. They've gone ahead to organize several matches across virtually every state in Nigeria, if not every state in Nigeria. And they're campaigning from state to state. They also say they have the structure of the workers' union. And the workers' union exists in every state in Nigeria, So if everything they say is real, then I think they should also be acknowledged as one of the parties that has what it takes, to carry out and monitor and vote, their candidate in. I think we need to start looking at it like that. Like, look, Labour Party has already outlined its plans. It looks like people are not listening to them. So it's time to listen and say, oh, they say it.
Yeah.
Because what you do too is just you hear, although you've experienced the other parties, but what they do now too is also talk. So if Labour Party is saying it, it's time for people to take them for their words.
All right.
Like Abga was saying that, look, they're the third largest party in Nigeria and everything, and they have candidates in this place and that place. They have people who have won elections in this place. Apart from the governor of Anambra, they have other elected people, on their platform. It's time to take them serious, So we start to look at it and say, okay, this is what you've said.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll take it.
That at times, maybe there needs to be a coalition of those kind of parties.
There is a coalition in existence. There's COP.
How strong is that coalition?
We'll find out on election day when the results start to roll in.
Okay.
But there is COP. There's the CUPP.
Okay.
Coalition of political parties in Nigeria.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the proper, but I know there is CUPP.
Oh yes, I think I totally agree with that. Still talking about a bit of elections, or someone's name that pops up when it comes to elections a lot is Governor Wike. And why Governor Wike is a lot in the news is because now, this week he has gone on his commissioning spree again, and this time he, is invited a few interesting people on his. He's invited the former governor of Edo State. He's invited the former governor and the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi. I know that I think he invited. There's another governor I think he invited yesterday. I can't remember exactly the person's name, but I know that he had invited. And I know that the president is said to be in Port Harcourt on Friday as well. I saw pictures of the law school that he's supposed to commission in Port Harcourt. Beautiful work, When something is good, let's agree that it's good. I think it's a beautiful piece of architecture though. So now Governor Wike has now said, while today he had invited the former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, today, where he now said today that he apologized to the former national chairman of the APC for supporting the re-election of Governor Godwin Obaseki in Edo State. We know that Governor Wike and Governor Obaseki are definitely at loggerheads. There's been a lot of rancor back and forth there. Now he literally tendered his apology to Adams Oshiomhole today in Rivers State.
Nyesom Wike, a man of many words and a man of action too. I will continue to, praise the work rate because we lack a lot of infrastructure in Nigeria and Africa by extension. So governance is not only about infrastructure, physical infrastructure, right? But the way you upgrade, this
existing,
it makes the quality of life better. So where you're building bridges and overpasses, pedestrian bridges and ramps and stuff, it's about traffic management, which will eventually lead to a boost in the economy. Also the fact that people who are based there locally get employed to work during this process is also another way of reinvigorating the economy. But he knows how to take all of that and put it back into politics, and which is what he has done with the commissioning of all these projects. I know that he's listed out names. He even listed Kwankwaso, the presidential candidate of the.
Oh yeah, that's the person I wanted to remember.
And NPP,
New Nigeria Political
so
Party.
what Nyesom Wike is saying and what he's doing in essence is really trying to confuse everybody. He is PDP. He is at loggerheads with the management of PDP in quotes and their presidential candidate, and he says it's based on principle. He's reiterated that. Then he's still hobnobbing with all the opposition party. I think tomorrow Peter Obi should be his guest. Then on Friday, President Muhammadu Buhari. Then on Monday, I think is Rabiu Kwankwaso also. But look at it this way. Look at it. There's an APC person there today. There's a Labour Party person there. Then there's what's it called now? APC again on Friday. Then on Monday there's NMP. Where's the PDP person that's coming to commission stuff with Governor Wike? And he still says he's PDP. Take that and put it aside. Now take a look exactly at what he said about Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo
State.
We know how acrimonious it was when Obaseki crossed
from the APC to the PDP.
It was daggers drawn. There was a lot of. But this were the people that backed him up, and everybody knows. In fact, people were hailing Wike for helping him win the election. He was on ground, including the governor of Delta State, Governor Okowa. And all of this time, they were definitely working against Adams Oshiomhole, because Oshiomhole had fallen out with Obaseki. And if you look at court pronouncements about the PDP structure in Edo State, you will understand why Nyesom Wike and Obaseki are not on the same page. They're not on the same page. Might be in the same party, but they're not on the same page at all. And we've seen videos of when his deputy in Edo State was talking about, how they were not welcome in the PDP, and the other members of the PDP in Edo State who are talking about how they're not welcome. So all of this just culminates in Nyesom Wike now inviting Adams Oshiomhole, and of course he agreed to go. Because it's one thing for you to be invited, the other thing is for you to accept the invitation. And this is the state of Nigerian politics. This is where we are at the moment. And everything that everybody is doing is going to lead up to the 100 days that we already are joining INEC to count down. Because every game that they're playing now is about Aso Rock.
Anyway, something popped in my head, but I would just let it slide. But anyway, we'll definitely see how all this is going to. We know that at the end of the day, all that is left is 100 days. Abi?
Yeah.
It's 100 days. Anything more than that cannot be. There's no need for all this back and forth after that. But we'll see what happens, and then that we know that whoever wins the election, there's going to be a lot of alignments, there's going to be a lot of drama, but we definitely will keep all that drama coming. Now, there was something that I did not want to talk about, but it keeps popping up. Before we talk about it, something interesting happened today, that a particular group of people that have really been against the APC's presidential ticket, especially the Muslim presidential ticket, the Christian Association of Nigeria, is now said to have commenced the meeting with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Did you see this coming in Naira's future? Like, did you see this happening?
Honestly, if you're still surprised about some things in Nigerian politics, it's at times because maybe you're not that experienced or you've not been following the news. I don't even understand why they had made it an issue in the first place, to the point where everybody felt that we were not contesting for an election in Nigeria, but it was more of a religious event. The fears of the Christian Association of Nigeria is valid. You feel a certain kind of way about certain things. Yes.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Knowing how to separate the state from the church is what is important. And knowing how to discuss your agenda without sparking bad blood or creating bad blood or another form of angst or anger and disaffection amongst other people is key. I keep saying it every time I hear things like the church must rise up, the church must this. There are non-Christians in Nigeria, a large chunk of them. And most of them are even in the church. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see that. I see what you did there.
Oh, yeah.
I see what you did
Let's
there.
drink to that.
Really. Anyway.
There are Muslims who also vote.
Yeah.
They are traditionalists.
That's the people that I feel that we marginalize a lot.
Yeah.
Because everybody's always going on about Christians and Muslims. At least off the cuff of my head, I can mention 5 other religions in Nigeria that nobody talks about. What happens to them?
And you know the funny thing about this is how on paper they say Nigeria is a secular
nation. Like
they say new.
They say, yeah. But even if we're not, at least acknowledge everybody else. That's my own. So they too can come up and say, okay, so why don't you get a traditional worshiper as the Senate president?
So
as a
religious group, because that's what they are. They are a religious group.
They are a religious group.
As a religious group, when you play partisan politics and your candidate does not win, what happens? This is one of the reasons why it's always good to stay neutral.
Just stay neutral.
And pray for your candidate, because you already have a candidate anyway.
Yeah.
And work for your candidate if possible, but not come out and be frontal and be... Because if your candidate... What happens? Because the person that wins is still, by law, should still cater to your needs too, Abi. Okay. Me, I just believe that we need to
let's just be coming
remove
down,
politics and religion and put them on different... I'm not saying that religious people should not participate in politics. I am saying that do not use your religion, to cause problems.
Okay. All right. And moving on from that, ASU is in the news again. The federal government, that last week, was it last week or Monday? It was Monday, where we were talking about how sorry, why do I keep saying INEC? The academic staff, universities had said that they were doing a 1-day, I don't know if they call it sit at home or sit in the office kind of thing, to protest the half salary that they got in October. Now, the federal government, through the Minister of Education today, after the Federal Executive Council meeting, has now said that members of the members of ASU received their rightful salary in October, stating that nobody can make them casual, as denying that it has indirectly made Nigerian lecturers casual workers, that nobody is making anybody a casual worker, but that they actually called off the strike on 14th of October. And the salary was paid based on the number of days that they had worked.
I know that if you've seen me on this show or listened before, you will know that Shola Rogers is not a big fan of ASU. No, I'm not. And if ASU had known, maybe, just maybe, they would have called off the strike on the 1st of October. We are still going to meet and discuss. You see what you have done to yourself now. You use your hand to do yourself.
I have a question.
It's called Lasher Mouche. He that know he, do he. You know, so
I heard that today. Why?
Yeah, you know. So your lecturers, you know, other lecturers in ASU, start looking at your ESCO. Those people,
I have a
they are setting you up.
I have a question.
You understand?
So this is their one-day protest or one-day action, meaning that they
will remove it too now.
That's the question. Think about it very well, though.
They will remove it now. They will remove it now.
At this point, unfortunately for you, it looks like because of court pronouncements, they cannot go on another strike. Yet.
Put yet there.
So, because of that, and it's obvious that the federal government is milking this thing. They are
not milking anything.
I think they're milking.
It's not cow. They are not milking.
I honestly, as much as I'm not a fan of ASU, I feel it was a tad bit petty, really trying to drive in your point a little too much by paying them half.
It's not any point. It's not half salary.
You already paid them. You're already not paying the 8 months anyway. You could have just given them the whole salary.
Dash them money.
Oh God.
They should dash people money for not working. Is that how you want to rule Nigeria if you are given the opportunity? This country needs to be more accountable and transparent. They have calculated the number of days you work. They have paid you. If you like, go strike again. Now you understand that striking is not the option or the solution to our problems. 8 months that you spent. 8 months. The 8 months that you spent. 8 months.
I saw,
what exactly did you gain? Only you kept young Nigerians at home for 8 months. You made some of those girls to go and be doing what they were not supposed to do. Now they have big belly everywhere.
I saw
all sorts of things. And then what did you achieve?
I think it was the lawyer that was going on about how the federal government does not understand how those eight months that they're still going to do the job of those 8 months. And in my mind, I'm like, no, they're not.
How?
They're just going to continue from where they stopped.
They're not going to do anything.
They are not going to jam those 8 months. You're not going to start 2 sessions at the same time, would you? No, you won't. You did 8 months people without working.
People just like.
And I'm like, let's be calming down. Don't come and scatter my brain. Don't be, poking hand inside my brain.
If that's what it is,
How does that work?
If that's what it is, you say you do the backdated work.
Okay, so I'm in 200 level. So am I in 200 level and 300 level at the same time?
No problem. Then you now do that work. The new session.
What happens?
Federal government will now call you. Since you can do 8 months work in October and December, and there is new session in January, Abi. So this January, February, March that you are entering, you will do future 6 months work in 3 months.
Abi, because I don't understand
that thing doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I know that they're trying to justify whatever it is they're doing.
Justify fire.
But it does not make any sense.
You
didn't go to work.
Simple.
And that's it. Let's be honest with ourselves. I think that this would also, the only good side I see with this is I think other agencies will think about, because we've also almost become like, what's it called? It's almost like strikes are like a part of us. Before you hear one person, so now when people realize that sitting at home, you're not going to get paid.
See,
you're fighting for money that is not enough, where you don't even get as much as the one that is not enough. To me, I think what ASU should have done is return federal government's money if you're angry.
The salary for October.
Yes.
You know, the sad part about all of this is that there are some
Return their
amazing members of ASU
Return
who
their
do
money.
not support all of this, right? And who do not deserve this treatment. But because they've been quiet for those 8 months, they're going to get the same kind of treatment. Now, ASU needs to go and look back and say 2 things. Do you want to continue fighting with strike? Or you get more creative about it?
My own is return
The sad
the
part
federal government's money. Be angry and just return everything.
The number of years a lot of us lost to this senseless
things.
And I think ASU was using that thing as a scam.
Yes, I
what they did was that once
using it to work on the other
when they're
places.
tired, when they're just tired, like we need break.
They use it to. I think they're looking for it to.
Once they call that
work
strike
in other places.
they will call strike 3 months, 5 months, when they have made all the money they want to make and all the connection.
Exactly.
Guys, should we go back? Then they will go back.
Yeah.
Then the government will we won't go back if you don't pay us. Then government will not pay them for all the work they didn't do. All these years, you people have been collecting
money you didn't do. That's the only thing I see with it. Like the only good part to this is, I think that before anybody else goes on strike, you think about it twice.
Yeah, but if you are
serious government, not have.
You have to be consistent. You've taken things to the court, asking the court to take certain decisions. Then you now go on your own and now pay them.
Okay, so what you're saying is that is the consistency that is doing it for you.
They have to be consistent.
Wow.
God bless the consistency of the people in charge of this.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
Nigerian students have suffered too much in the hands of ASU strike.
Anyway.
Which is no way.
The Nigerian Senate is in the news today as they have now promised to provide legislative support for the policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria to redesign the Naira. Basically, they're saying that whatever is needed by was needed from lawmakers to solidify this CBN redesigning. It's this Naira redesigning. They're going to do it, but they actually also had an issue saying that the deadline for Tuesday, January 31, 2023 to pay all cash into circulation into banks is a little short.
Bros, wait now. Me personally, I don't have any cash to pay to bank.
No, I have 200 naira.
I don't have any cash to pay to bank. You have colo of 2 years and you have not put money. You better go and break it and bring the money out.
That's true. All the naira that is there, let me go. Honestly, the honest truth is that
we need to get it right. A lot of people are actually holding the Naira.
Yeah. So because I remember the first time we had this conversation, and I'm like, now we need to go to the bank. And I think it was you that like, do you have cash? What cash are you looking for? And it's the truth, because now I hardly use cash. When the money comes and I need cash, whatever money I get from the ATM, I'm sure from December 15th will be new money, so I won't have to have a headache.
And these days we're very, very specific about it. If you need to buy something in the market where they don't accept transfers or POS,
get the cash you need.
You just get the specific amount. How much is meat? But boy, Lenron is 3,000 or 7,000.
Yeah,
get the
7,000 and pay him.
Nobody's,
but
the people who are complaining are the people.
That's what I'm saying. So why is the senator complaining?
Maybe they to have large cachet.
Because if you don't have,
do you see why I did there again? Cachet.
Because if you have legit money, we know that we're moving towards a cashless economy. Not even just in Nigeria, around the world. Yeah. If we are maintaining that in the first place. Yeah. You won't have issues with when they're changing money.
And we must also try to break it down. There's a lot of news going around about the dollar changing, and it's not true. We've said it.
Oh yeah.
Over and over again.
It's not
You
true.
know, the dollar is a legal tender regardless of when it was produced.
Put it out there though. That is for the dollar. For Naira.
Those of you that have
Naira, January 31st is no longer a legal tender. Just putting it out there. Let's know what we are doing. Anyway.
Then the Senate also asked the CBN to do something. And we're doing it for them already. They need to spend a lot of money
to sensitize rural areas.
Aggressive awareness.
There's a lot of people that don't have bank accounts.
They don't have the internet to watch us and listen.
They actually keep money, which is not their fault as well.
No, it's not.
So it's better people don't lose the value of their money.
I know some elderly people that, you know, they get gifts, a lot of gifts in cash, and they like to keep it. And they also gift it out.
Yeah,
when
those people need to be taught.
Someone needs to help them.
Somebody needs to help them. Yes, I feel that banks should need to also go to some of these rural areas. Maybe build makeshift store buildings and all that.
Don't build makeshift
to help.
Cash makeshift. Please go inside the bank. Bukola Medivi also says, "Hello, headache for those who keep cash. I waka go." Simple.
I agree with you. You don't have
it's not even. Do you have the cash to keep? Needs the question.
Yeah.
The real question. Nobody is answering this question. Do you that are complaining? How much cash do you have?
How much cash do you have that you want to?
They are complaining. They're doing push cash. They're doing the time is too short. Which time is short? The cash that I have now. If I enter bank now, they will chase me. Okay, why are you here?
Why are you here?
So my colo, when I break it now, I will just use it to buy.
Oh, that's true. Those things need to be open now. Very true.
Hello. I've not even been putting money since.
If you have colo,
open it.
Open it out. That's grabbing the cash.
If you don't know what a colo is, it's actually like a piggy bank. It's like a piggy bank.
Piggy bank. If you have those things, go and open them by latest the end of December, because your colo will become zero.
If I don't open it, let us all of us be on the same level. They don't open, keep it. Again, the CBN also said that there will be no charges if you're going to deposit, I think, from 150k downwards or something. There will be no deposit charges. But you see, those of you that are doing 151,000,
if you have money that you are keeping under your bed, it will teach people a lesson. We're in 2022. Except you're in a rural area or you don't have banks around your area.
But you know
then you're probably you're doing some shady things.
But you know that, for people who are afraid, you start to wonder, like you said, shady, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, there's BVN, and there's NIN and all of those things. So your transactions are supposed to be online. Yeah. But now that you have cash,
see,
then we know it's you that bought that money.
They cannot be looking for me.
I don't have headache.
The little tertiary money that the Lord provided. Where GTB bank be removing, they should continue with it. By the time I come and meet you people, we will be back again. But anyway,
be warned.
Anyway,
I just pictured Dolupo entering a branch of the bank that she mentioned with broom.
You pass it everybody. You pass it everybody.
Then you now climb on the counter.
You know what's helping people? Traffic.
Are you going to climb on the counter like those people?
That's what's helping you.
I've seen like 2 or 3 videos where people went gaga inside the banking hall.
I would not even.
I'm going to take a camera with me.
I would not get to that point because I would not let anybody enter or go out. So
this one you are locking everybody. That's kidnapping.
Okay. They don't kidnap my body.
Because of how much?
They are not kidnapping my body.
No matter what.
Okay. We'll see.
Their bank people release that money.
Hey, all right. I'm keeping quiet. Anyway, quickly before we go, the World Cup updates. We know that the World Cup is literally in a few days' time. Like whoop whoop whoop. Well, is it me? But there isn't so much hype.
I bet let them do quick and finish the World Cup.
Because by now they're like songs that will be out. Normally everybody's like singing those songs all over the place. Like there's major hype about World Cup. this year, I don't understand what is happening with World Cup.
The best part of this World Cup is that you're going to see some Nigerian artists performing at the big
Oh
stage.
yeah, that's it for me.
Be on the lookout for Kiss Daniel.
I know that Patoranking too is supposed to. There is a fan concert or something that he too is supposed to be at. But anyway, there is now said that France is losing one person, as Christopher Nkunku is said to have.
He picked up a knock. He got
injured
in training.
Training, like,
it was
wow,
like a freak accident. It wasn't even supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. This would have been a big opportunity for Nkunku to show the world, because he's been having a great season.
Yeah,
you know?
it's
and
very
there's been
sad.
some talk about him and Kamavinga, and but if you watch the video, it's not what people are saying. But it's sad that Nkunku is injured.
Is injured, yeah. Also, all the way to Senegal, we're talking about how Sadio Mane was not supposed to go. He's not going, sadly, and then Senegal had come out to say that he was going. Now, officially, the Senegalese team are in Qatar. He's not there yet. And they're saying that the way he's looking due to his injury, they don't know how long it will take, but it doesn't look like he would be there for the group stages, at least.
Well, as long as they don't just jeopardize the man's long-term career
Just
because of the World Cup.
Yeah. If he can't make it, he really can't make it. Really, let's not.
Because to me, Sadio Mane is the best player in Africa at the moment.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah. He's according to what's he called. He's supposed to be the second best player in the world. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. For me personally, all like prayers are towards him. I hope that he gets better.
Yeah.
I really would like to see him.
We're rooting for you, Sadio.
Yeah. And also, Tottenham forward Son is who got injured a few weeks ago. I think he had an injury with his eye socket or something. Yeah. He hit it was an elbow with his face and all that. He had surgery, and we're wondering, it was like he was most likely not going to make it for South Korea as well. But it said there was a picture today that he was training with them with a protective face mask.
Yeah, just like Victor Osimhen does,
Yeah. So
and
looks
speaking
like
about Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, and before we get to Victor Osimhen, but now they're not still sure if he's still going to play those games or not. But
they will miss him if he doesn't play.
I
think it's arguably their best
player. Yes, there's a lot of not nice stuff coming. Speaking of Victor Osimhen, like you said, Victor Osimhen has another injury. There was a lot of talk about him not being available for the Portugal friendly, and a lot of people saying that he opted out to this and that. Now, the Nigerian Football Federation has officially come out to say that he's actually injured. That is why he cannot make this this particular
set of friendly
games. It's very interesting. There's a lot happening around the World Cup. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Now I'm done with the World Cup. I wanted to talk about some of the stories that we had said we were going to discuss.
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
And it has to do with Nigerian Air. We have clamored for a flag carrier. Some countries even have two, and the way the last one was liquidated did not go down well. Now that they have a deal with Ethiopian Airlines, it seems like the local airlines want to scuttle this deal, and they've gone to court, and the court has at least stayed action on it. And whatever they do would affect
the whole process.
The process and even other investors, because for a serious nation that has put out a bid and a private company brings funds out and buys into your business, then the locals in your country are trying to scuttle that.
They don't see you as serious.
That's not right. That's not fair. And you see, Nigerian businesses tend to do this a lot. Now, the Minister of Aviation said that he had spoken to the local airlines.
Yeah, the airline operators of Nigeria.
And they didn't make any move.
In fact, I remember that I saw a statement a few days ago that there was no other bid. There was a bid that was put out and nobody had it. And then now,
so there's a serious company that actually bidded and won.
I won the bid. And so why do you have a problem with it now?
A company that has the capacity to do it.
Yeah.
Then now we're going to bring the sentiment, the Nigerian sentiment. It's another African.
Let's not even get to the part where the Nigerian airlines already, the ones that they're already there. They said, what's it called? They don't even the ones that they are already doing. How well are they even running it? Let's get there. How well are they running it?
And the truth is, I have not met anybody in the last couple of years that has not traveled without stress.
I'm telling you,
by air within Nigeria.
In Nigeria. Yes, that's the truth.
At least 2 or 3 times I have been subjected to all sorts of terrible treatment by Nigerian, 3 different Nigerian airlines.
The little one that you're dealing with, how well are you doing it?
Now you want
to put your hand and your mouth inside the one that God forbid you. The Lord bind you. I bind you in the name of the Lord. I bind you people. Thank you very much.
You have been bound.
Yes, so you have been bound. I bind you people.
You are bounded.
Anyway, also there was there's talks of there's a party, what's it called? There's a lot of defection here and there though, from Kogi State to Taraba State, as looks like the PDP in Taraba State has lost 2 of its prominent members to the Labour Party. They're aides of the governor. That's not a very good thing for the PDP. Also, sadly, on another hand, in Kogi State, the leader of the Labour Party in Kogi State has defected with 2,000 of his supporters to the APC. You know, all these things, I think they're actually expected.
Yeah, so of course a lot of that will still happen as we proceed. It's a lot of back and forth here and there. People are aligning and realigning, you know. Exactly.
Quickly before we go, we know that for people that do not know, Tems and Burna Boy has also been nominated. I know Burna Boy was nominated. He got 2 nominations. Tems has 3 nominations for the 65th Grammy Awards. And in other news, Wizkid sells out the Madison Square Garden.
One time.
Well, I think his show is today.
Yeah,
it's Wednesday. Yes, his show is today. I think it's amazing what you see Nigerian musicians are doing all over the world. It is time for Nigerian music and Nigerian entertainment scene, and it's wonderful to be a part of it. It's wonderful to be alive to when this is happening. And on that note, that is all we're able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very, 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 very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time with another wonderful edition of The Bar. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Peace.